Well, welcome to Biology 1010. I am excited to begin this semester with you all. And just to begin, I thought I would introduce myself and tell you a little bit about who I am. I'm originally from Colorado. I did my undergraduate degree at Carter College in Colorado Springs. I did my master's at the University of Wyoming and my PhD at Oregon State in Corvallis. And so I've kind of been all over the West. I've done research in Colorado, in Utah, and in Alaska. And I've done a bunch of research with vascular plants, as you can see here off to the right-hand side. I've also done some research with lichens, and lichens are actually a symbiosis of fungi and algae or cyanobacteria, which you can see here, and you can see here and down at the bottom, a couple of pictures. So I've kind of looked at what lichens do, kind of where they're distributed, looking at how they're impacted by grazing by reindeer and caribou, and I've also looked at their growth weights. In addition, I've also done a lot of research on students and student learning. I've done some research on plagiarism and how students understand plagiarism and how they can be trained to avoid it. I've also looked at Biology 1010 classes and how best that students are able to learn. I've been teaching for about 10 years, and this is my 5th year here at UVU, and I've taught this exact same class. This will be my 5th semester doing so. And so I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about some pieces within the syllabus and tell you about some of the important things. And so the first thing you may be wondering about, and I've already received a lot of emails, is what are the required materials? So first and foremost, you hopefully identified that there is indeed no textbook for this class, and that is true, but be prepared that I've prepared all of the materials you need to learn Biology 1010 as an online format, and so all those are going to actually be available. Specifically, you access them in Canvas, but then all of the surveys and the material you get are in Qualtrics. And so you're going to see a page just like this one here in the front, where you can actually log in with your UVID number, and that should be done automatically if you were registered in the class as of the first day. If you added this class late, I'm going to tell you right now, please send me a message immediately so that I can get you registered in Qualtrics, because if you have not done that already, then you can't access any of the homework. So please make sure that that has actually been done. So then next, what I wanted to talk a little bit about was the evaluation component of the class. And so first, all of the grades are going to be available in Canvas, but I wanted to warn you that I have not made the option available in Canvas for you to see a kind of running total of your grade. And I do that because there's some flexibility with how we do the grades in this class, whether there's added pieces or there's dropping of separate assignments, as you're going to notice here within the evaluation portion. And so for starters, I just wanted to kind of highlight that the major assessments that are going to take place sprinkled throughout the semester are the Explore assessments. There were 20% of your grade in the Apply assessments. Keep in mind that 4 of the lowest ones, there are 40 total, so that does make a big difference, are dropped. And because of that, I don't allow you to have makeups on those. And then the Apply assessments, there's 8 total. I allow you to drop the lowest single Apply assessment. And there's only 8 of those total throughout the semester. And because of that flexibility, I don't allow you to drop those. The next thing I wanted to mention was the cumulative final assessment. I should emphasize that this is indeed cumulative. It covers material throughout the entire semester, and it is worth 1/4 of your grade. So it's worthwhile starting to kind of think, preparing for that as you go throughout the semester. In addition, I also wanted to highlight that there are these Explore assignments, and there's going to be 2 of those due for each day. You're going to notice throughout the semester and on the schedule of activities that there are 2 things for each of these. There's the Explore assignment and the Apply assignment. And those need to be done kind of with each of those days. And none of those can be actually dropped. So make your best effort to not miss any of those things. So all these assignments are indeed in Qualtrics. And so you're going to be able to, again, need to make sure that I have your UVID because you're registered in the class. Even if you get in and you're in Canvas, you need to make sure that you contact me about that Qualtrics site. Then the final piece I wanted to mention are the surveys, and there's going to be a few of those the first week of the semester, actually only one the first week of the semester, and then a few the last week of the semester. And so those were worth 5% of your grade. Again, they're not graded, those are the only ones that are actually just worth credit. And so the idea of those is that we want to have, again, this class is kind of participating in this study to kind of understand how students learn in Biology 1010. And so it's important for us to understand, first of all, how they learn and what kind of instruction actually impacts their learning, and how that can impact students and improve things. And so we hope that you will be part of the data. You have to do all of the assessments. You have to do the surveys as part of your grade, as you can clearly see here. But your willingness to be a participant and for us to use your data is voluntary. And so you'll get an opportunity to check off that box whether you are interested in participating or not. But we really strongly encourage you to do so because you have to take all the assessments and the surveys anyhow. And of course, your data can help us improve what we know about students learning in Biology 1010 so we can improve classes in the future. So that's a lot of the kind of important things about evaluation. So next is thinking a little bit about deadlines for this class and when things are actually going to be due. And that, of course, can be important because they come very, very quickly. And there's lots of sequential deadlines throughout the class. And so I just wanted to kind of focus in on the first week to kind of give you a sense for how things work in this class. So if we just focus on that first week, of course, today, or at least if you're doing this on the first day of class, is the 4th of January. And so we know that there's actually nothing due on that Monday or Tuesday, and the way that this class is structured is to kind of organize it around a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class schedule. I know that we don't actually ever meet, but that's when all the deadlines actually are. So the first thing you're going to find is that there are three things that are due that first Wednesday. The first thing that you should always do is the Explore assignment, and that is the actual content of exploring what is this topic that we're really interested in. And again, that's all in Qualtrics. You're going to find all the materials for that. And so you'll get all this, that's essentially like your textbook, and you're going to be getting all the information on that. As soon as you complete that, I would do it as quickly as you can to then go and do your Explore assessment for that same day. And essentially all that's trying to do is to say, what did you get out of the Explore assignment? And we please ask that you go ahead and take the Explore assignment cold turkey. You know, don't even look at your notes, just take it based on what you already know from reading that Explore assignment or watching it, as the case may be. And so you can do that, and actually once you've done it, say you did really, really poorly, you can actually take it as many times as you want to until the deadline. So if you want to take it 30 times until you get a perfect score, fantastic. A lot of past students have done that to give themselves a little bit of padding later on. And then finally, what you'll do for that same day is to do the Apply assignment. And so that is where you're actually taking some of the stuff you learned in that Explore materials and actually applying it to the things that you might be able to see in the real world. And so all of those three things are going to be due on that Wednesday. And you're going to find that every single day, if you will, has three things that are actually due. Okay? So the next thing is on Friday is going to be the same round. And you're going to hopefully be seeing a very, very clear pattern. And that is, then we have the day 3 Explore assignment. You should again do that first before you've done anything else. As soon as you do that, then go ahead and take that Explore assessment to kind of see what you have gained from this kind of general content information. As soon as you're done with that, then you can go ahead and do the day 3 Apply assessment. And I also put this last little reminder up here that is, of course, on Sunday at midnight are those first surveys. And actually, now that I'm seeing that on the slide, is the BCI is not going to be something we're going to do. So keep that as a correction, but the surveys for the first week are indeed due on that first Sunday. So all the deadlines are due for all of these assignments and all these assessments is at midnight. Please note that in Canvas it says 11:59 p.m. to make sure that you are on the same page as me as to which day that actually is scheduled for. In addition, it's important to kind of remember that the schedule is set for kind of a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule, and so that's when all the due dates are going to roughly be, is on those Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And there is a very, very strict schedule, and I will just let you know that assignments will roughly be available about 2 days in advance. And so if you're someone who took an online class specifically because you wanted to work way ahead, or specifically because you're someone who wanted to wait until the last couple weeks of class to do everything, I'm going to tell you right now that this is not the class for you, because that's not how this class is structured. It's structured to kind of have a little bit of work every couple days to kind of keep you on par. And there is a real distinct ordering of things. And so we really want you to take the Explore assignment, do that first, then do the assessment for the Explore, and then do the Apply assignment all for the same day, then before you even go on to the next day. And so we kind of release those in order to try and ensure that you do get those in order, because it's important to get the material that way. So next, I wanted to just kind of also introduce this idea of the class structure. So you've already heard a little bit about the Explore and the Apply, and perhaps you're wondering kind of how this works. And so I kind of put an example of how this might work. And so here's a couple of days throughout the semester. And so for each day, as I already indicated, there is an Explore material. And so that is the assignment that you're actually doing, is you're getting facts and concepts about what is this actual topic that corresponds to whatever this day is. And then each one has this assessment to kind of say, what did you learn from getting that content? And then of course there's also this link to the Apply assignment, and that is really trying to get you to understand what you learned and how to apply that particular information. And several days will actually pass where you'll kind of have this same feature of the Explore assignment, the Explore assessment, and then the Apply assignment. And you're going to notice at the very end, and it's usually about 4 to 6 classes, or 4 to 6 days of material, and then you'll have one of these Apply assessments, and that will kind of give you a sense for what is on those types of materials. And the Explore assessments and Apply assessments are very, very different in terms of not really the content, but the types of questions that we're asking. Because the Explore assessments are much, much more low level, and the Apply assessments are much more high level. So to give you a sense for what that actually looks like, I'm showing here the learning objectives, and this is one of the documents that's in Canvas that's available for you all. And this is, a lot of students will ask me, can we have a study guide for some of these assessments? And this is your study guide. This is what I want you to know and be able to do throughout the semester. And so you're going to notice that those Explore assessments really ask you to have these low-level types of things. And so those may be things like, do you understand something? Can you identify something? Can you explain it? Can you describe it? Okay. Whereas the Apply assessments, which are they're kind of cumulative over several days at a time, ask much higher level questions. So they may be, can you construct something? Can you design something? Can you distinguish? So they're much higher level. So as you're using these learning objectives to study, don't think of them as a list of kind of concepts that you should know, but think of them as a list of concepts, but also as a list of skills that you should be able to have accomplished. And so these are really, really important, and I'm going to be getting back to these multiple times. Every time you get back an assessment, you're going to see that every item is linked back to a learning objective so that you know exactly where that information came from, and that that was indeed a well-founded expectation. And then finally, I just wanted to kind of say one last piece, and that is if you feel like as you're going through the semester that you're having a tough time, or even at the beginning or very, very end, there's lots and lots of avenues for you to be able to get help. First and foremost, I am your instructor, and I want you to succeed. And that is my goal for each and every one of you as members of this class, to succeed. So please send me an email. Let me know what's going on. Let me know how I can help you best to succeed. In addition, we're going to have several TAs. One's going to be associated with just our class, but there's also several that are associated with all of my Biology 1010 sections, as well as one of the other faculty in our department. And so you can email them, and I'll post their emails on our Canvas site the first week of the semester. In addition, each of these TAs is also going to have review sessions, and those are on campus. And so if you're able to come on campus, I would highly recommend that you come onto campus. And then finally, if you have any questions, ask a discussion post.